So one Claude AI prompt made me 6 figures a month, and it's the same prompt that turned both ends of my money machine on this channel. It wrote the scripts that took my main channel past $477,000 just in AdSense alone last year. And it's the prompt that I use to make almost every AI tool that I use on my channel. And not just my channel. I even used it to build the Facebook ad system that retargets every viewer who clicks on one of my links. And by the way, this is coming from someone who runs a YouTube channel with over 1.5 million subscribers. I've personally made over $10 million from YouTube alone, and I've worked with clients who've collectively generated over $100 million in revenue from YouTube. So this isn't a cool prompt. This is the master prompt that builds every other prompt that I use on this channel. And today I'm gonna be giving this prompt to you, and I'm gonna be demonstrating exactly how I use it with 2 different examples, with the full walkthrough step by step. So if you appreciate me making this type of content and you wanna see me make more of it in the future, then gently tap that like button and let's dive into it right now. Now, before we jump into this, I just wanna say something about AI on YouTube right now. Most creators are using AI completely wrong, and almost all of the AI content on YouTube is terrible. And by the way, this is coming from someone who's been using Claude ever since it first came out. I would say that I'm one of the world-renowned experts on using Claude specifically for YouTube and content creation in general. And I hired somebody who's even better than me at AI. He's truly 0.1% when it comes to AI. And I literally hired him and I paid for him to stay in the apartment right next to me. So I know exactly how to use AI correctly, and I can tell you right now that most creators aren't using it right. And one of the biggest reasons is because all the content on YouTube is terrible, right? So most creators, they're gonna open Claude or ChatGPT, they're gonna type, write me a script about topic, and then they wonder why what comes back sounds like a corporate blog post written by a robot intern. And then they wonder why their channel isn't growing. Because of course, if you do this, you're gonna create AI slop. When in reality, what you want to create is content that sounds like you. It's your opinion. It's tailored to you and your voice in the way that you write and or speak. And the secret to accomplishing this is you don't want to write the prompt yourself. You build a master prompt that interviews you, learns your voice, your channel, your audience, and then it builds the custom prompt that actually does the work. And then that custom prompt is going to interview you again to do the specific task. So there's one master prompt that builds every other prompt that you need. And I'm gonna show you exactly how it works. I'm gonna walk you through 2 of the biggest builds on my channel, and I'm going to give you the prompt itself. So whether you've never touched Claude, or you've been messing with AI for a few months, or you're a Claude expert, you're gonna get a lot out of this video. So let's go ahead and jump into it right now. So first of all, let's talk about the prompt that builds prompts. So here's why writing your own prompt cold just doesn't work. There are hundreds of different jobs that you might want AI to do on your channel. Scripts, titles, thumbnails, emails, ads, outlier research, audience mining, hooks. The list is endless. And every single one of these needs a totally different prompt. And you cannot sit down and write the perfect prompt for any one of those off the top of your head. Nobody can. You don't know what to include. You don't know what details actually matter. You don't know what edge cases to plan for. You're just guessing. And here's the thing about guessing with AI. You're gonna get garbage every single time, right? It is going to create AI slop. Now, imagine the alternative. One master prompt. You tell it, here is the outcome that I want. Interview me until you have everything that you need to build the perfect prompt for this. And then it goes to work on you. It asks you question after question after question about your voice, your audience, your goals, your style, the objections that your viewers have, the angles you want to hit. And if you don't know how to get it the information that it wants, you can literally just ask it and it'll tell you exactly how to do that. And then when it has enough, it builds you a prompt, a real one, tailored to you, reusable forever. And here's the thing that you need to understand, because most people screw this up royally, okay? The raw material has to come from you, not the AI. Right? That's the difference between AI that makes real money on YouTube and AI slop that gets you demonetized or even banned, or just doesn't work in the first place. And yes, that is a real risk right now, right? YouTube is mass demonetizing or banning AI slop channels. Now, the AI master prompt is not really writing for you. It's pulling your brain out of your head and then structuring it. The voice, the stories, the angles, the experience, all of that comes from you. The AI is just the container. And that's why I'm gonna have you yap out loud, voice chat, right? Do not type this. More on that in a second. Because your voice equals the source material. Anything else equals slop. Hey, quick break. I'm going to be doing a live training this week on how to start a YouTube channel step-by-step for beginners. This is going to be for people who want to start a channel, but they don't know what niche to pick, what videos to make, or how to actually get started the right way. And it's a completely free training, no strings attached. In fact, I'm giving away even more bonuses at the training. So just as an example, I'm going to be giving away my niche validator. This is going to be available both for ChatGPT as well as Claude, which is a super valuable piece of software where you can finally figure out what the best niche for you is. So do not miss out on this training. Make sure you sign up for it down in the description and the pinned comment below, because you only get it if you join the training. So if you don't join now, you might miss it. But that being said, in the workshop, you'll get to meet me, and you'll get to ask me questions directly. So I look forward to seeing you in there. So click the link in the description and the pinned comment below, put it in your calendar. And if for whatever reason you missed out on it or you weren't able to attend, make sure you still click that link, because we might be having workshops in the future as well, and you'll be the first to know about it. So yeah, hope to see you there. And now back to your regularly scheduled content. Okay, so here's the actual workflow step-by-step. And by the way, I personally recommend Claude over ChatGPT for this one. Claude is just better at long interviews and matching your voice. Right, ChatGPT works, but Claude is the move. Gemini has also been getting better lately, but again, Claude is the best when it comes to creative stuff. Except for visuals like thumbnails and that kind of thing. In that case, ChatGPT or Gemini are still better. But step one, you're gonna open Claude. Step two is to tell Claude the outcome that you want, and be specific. Don't just say, help me write scripts. Say something like, I want a custom prompt that helps me write 15 to 20 minute YouTube scripts in my voice for my niche. I want you to interview me until you have enough information to build it. Ask me one question at a time. And then if you have reference material for what you actually want the end product to be, that is when you would add the reference material. So for instance, if there's a video you've written where you were like, wow, this script was really, really good. You spent a lot of time on the script, for instance. Go ahead and copy and paste that script in and load it into this as well. Then step three is to yap. Hit the voice button. You can either hit the one that's directly on Claude, or you can use something like Whisperflow. I prefer Whisperflow slightly. And then talk to it just like you're talking to a friend, okay? And then just answer its questions. And this part is huge. Typing limits how much you can actually say, but voice gets you talking like you. And it becomes much easier to answer the questions that it asks you. And the whole thing is gonna fall apart if you type. It's just too much work. And it also doesn't actually sound like you're going to sound when you record the video. Then step four, go back and forth, sometimes 20 questions, sometimes 50. A lot of the time it'll start off asking you about 5 to 10 questions at a time. And then you go through several cycles of that. But the deeper you go, the better the prompt that comes out. Then step five, when it has enough, ask it to build the prompt, and it'll spit out a massive custom reusable prompt. And then you want to save that prompt, okay? So this is your asset, so save it in a Google Doc, save it in a notes file, whatever you got to do, right? Don't lose it. Now you might be thinking, but Shane, that sounds like it takes a long time. Yeah, it does. It's probably going to take you a couple hours. And I'll be honest with you, building the master prompt correctly does take hours. But here's the trade. You just have to pay the cost one time. And then you're gonna save yourself hundreds of hours over the next year. Every single time you sit down to make a video, you're not gonna start from scratch. You're gonna paste the prompt, you're gonna yap your topic, and then you're gonna get a script tailored to your voice in 10 minutes. So pay once and then print money forever. That's the trade. And look, I haven't just used this for one thing. I have literally built prompts and Claude skills for just about every possible thing you can imagine on YouTube. We're talking scripts, titles, thumbnails, email sequences, Facebook ads, outlier video research, audience comment mining, sales VSL scripts, niche selection, channel positioning, etc., etc. All of it. Every single one of those is a custom prompt and a custom Claude skill that I built using the master prompt. And today I'm gonna walk you through two of them, the two biggest ones, the ones that quietly do most of the work on this channel. And a bunch of the rest of them I'm gonna be giving away at a free live workshop that I'm doing this week. Link in the description and the pinned comment below. So if you want those other prompts and those Claude skills, just go ahead and click that. But right now, let me show you how I built prompt number one. Okay, so build number one is going to be the scripting prompt. And this is the prompt that writes a lot of the scripts that you watch on this channel. Now, do I necessarily go word for word? No, I don't always go word for word, but I do have it there in case I don't know what to say. Usually I'll just read it and then I'll kind of just say it in my own words. So in this particular case, it's a PowerPoint. Now this is a meta prompt. It doesn't write your scripts directly. What it does is it interviews you about your channel, your voice, your audience, your offer, your differentiator, your backstory, your philosophies, what videos have already done well on your channel or haven't done well on your channel, etc., etc. And then it builds you a custom script writing prompt tailored to you. From then on, every time you want to write a script, you paste that custom prompt into Claude, you yap your video topic for 5 minutes, and out comes a script that actually sounds like you. So this is the master prompt right here. It's a lot. And so if you want access to it, go ahead and click the link in the description and the pinned comment below, because it's literally too much for me to even put on the screen. Now, let me show you what happens when you actually run it, right? To prove that this works on a regular person, not a YouTube veteran, I ran this on my brother Zach's channel. Now, Zach is older. He's never made a video in his life, not tech savvy, and he didn't even know what RPM means, right? He doesn't know anything about YouTube. And he's been in the trades for about 30 years. So I had him use this prompt, and I had him yap to Claude for one session, and the master prompt interviewed him for about an hour about his trade, about his audience, about his voice, and about his offers. And we actually did the interview together, and when the interview finished, the prompt spat out the custom script writing prompt for his channel, Zach of all trades. And it had his trade knowledge baked in, his voice, his audience, and his affiliate offer. Then we used that second prompt that was produced to actually write his first scripts. Now, the second prompt that was produced also interviewed him, but it didn't have to ask him all the same questions it asked him before. It was just asking specifically about that video he was creating, right? So the second interview is much faster than the first one. And we used this to create his first scripts, and here's what happened. Brand new channel, 0 existing subscribers. He yapped each video topic for less than 15 minutes. Out came the scripts in his voice. He recorded them, and his very first video blew up and got over 800,000 views. And by day 29, after posting his first video, he hit a $214 day just from AdSense alone. And that is a $70,000+ a year run rate. So he literally went from 0 to a full-time income in less than 1 month on YouTube. 50-year-old guy, brand new channel, technologically challenged, full-time income in less than a month on YouTube. Now, this created a Zach of all trades master script writing prompt, but it did more than just that. It also created a very detailed trade career database, which it actually had to go out and scrape and mine information from the internet in order to create this trade career database. And this is an extremely detailed database that is not only very good, but more than that, it doesn't repeat the same careers over and over again, which is something that you run into if you make these types of videos. So it actually chooses new careers, so it doesn't just sound like the same video over and over again. So here's how you start. Open Claude, paste the script prompt builder that you got from the free link in the description in the pinned comment below, hit the voice button, the mic icon on Claude, and start yapping. Literally just start answering the questions that it asks you, start yapping. Then it's probably gonna ask you some more questions, right? It's gonna go deep on your voice, your niche, your dream viewer, your offer, et cetera, et cetera. And then save the custom prompt that it builds you. You can save it in Google Docs, Notes, whatever. And then from now on, every single script, you paste the prompt, you yap your topic, and you script it in 10 minutes. Now, one other thing that you can do to make this really easy is you can actually just turn it into a Claude project or a Claude skill. I recommend that you don't do that until it's really dialed in, because you're never gonna get it absolutely perfect on the first time. There's always gonna be some things that it does that you don't quite agree with, and then you just want to adjust the prompt from there until it's perfect. And then at that point, you can turn it into a project and or a skill. Now, by the way, if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, Shane, I don't really know what my niche is, or I think I know what my niche is, but I don't really know if I have it dialed in. I'm very unsure of my niche. Well, that is exactly what we're gonna be going over in this week's live training. Okay, so let's talk about build number 2, which is the Facebook ads prompt. And this is a situation where I was actually talking to a very experienced media buyer who is extremely good at Facebook ads, and specifically for creating content for Facebook ads. And I had very little experience. I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to Facebook ads. Now, we were running Facebook ads because we wanted to retarget people who come to our page from YouTube. And I literally used this master prompt to build out a Facebook ads prompt that allowed me to create 350 completely unique creative videos, short videos, but usually they were between 1 to 2 minutes each, in less than 3 hours. And that was the entire thing, creating the prompt, then answering the questions for the prompt, then filming all the videos. And the media buyer that I was working with was absolutely dumbfounded that I was able to do this. Because not only did it actually create all those videos, but it actually created a spreadsheet that organized everything as well. And it created this insanely powerful matrix Google Sheets, right? So it was all of the different words that I was supposed to say. It was all color coded. It was all named, so it's very easy for us to see in the future which ones are successful and which ones aren't. There are also different blocks for different types of avatars we were targeting, different hooks, different leads, different CTAs, different bodies, one page that was the combo matrix and the filming order. and there was direction for exactly what the video editor should do as well, along with the actual ads themselves, which we ended up getting a bunch of winners from too. And here the point is I did something that I wasn't an expert on, right? I am pretty good at making content. I'm pretty good at copywriting, but I wasn't an expert specifically on Facebook retargeting ads. And I went into this knowing absolutely nothing. And 2 to 3 hours later, I did something that blew away someone who is an expert on Facebook ads. And that is the power of this prompt. So how do you start this? Well, you open Claude, you tell Claude the outcome, you use the master prompt that I put below, and then make sure you're specific about the outcome, right? Give it a good little yap session. You know, something like generate and organize this number of ad variations targeting this audience for this offer. Then tell it to interview you until it's had enough, and then do a good old yap session. Be specific about your audience, your offer, your objections, your brand voice, anything that it asks you for, try to get it. And if you don't know how to get it, ask it how to get it and it'll tell you. Then it's gonna create a master prompt. You save that prompt and you run it whenever you need new variations, and it's gonna go through that same process of interviewing you, but it's gonna be much faster the second time around. And this way you never have to start from scratch again. Now, I have gone through this process. I've done all these yap sessions being someone who's actually an expert on this myself. And we've created tools for just about every possible thing that you could possibly need on YouTube. For instance, there are some people who have messed up settings on their YouTube channel, and that's the thing that's stopping their YouTube channel from growing. We have a Claude skill as well as a GPT created for that. A lot of people struggle selecting their niche. We have a Claude skill and a GPT created for that as well. Again, attend the live training by clicking the link in the description in the pinned comment below. A lot of people struggle with figuring out how to monetize their channel correctly. We have a Claude skill and a GPT created for that too. And these are the things we actually make available to our clients completely free, so they don't have to go through the hundreds of hours that I did to create them. And I didn't just create them, I created them and then I stress tested them and I tweaked them for sometimes months. So they're really, really good. Now, I know that 99% of people that are watching this are just gonna enjoy our free content. They're gonna enjoy our live trainings, which are also completely free, and we give away a bunch of awesome free stuff at those live trainings as well. And I literally answer your questions at the end as well. So you literally, like any question you have for me, I'll answer it at the end. But we're never gonna end up working together, and that's completely fine. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I love giving away at least 10 times more value than what I receive. That's completely fine with me. But for the 1% of you out there that want a hand-holding experience, you either want one-on-one coaching where we work directly with you in a done-with-you capacity to help you reach your YouTube goals, or you just want us to do it for you. Go ahead and book a call with us by clicking the link in the description in the pinned comment below. We only work with about 18% of people who apply, and that's actually going down lately. We're getting more and more picky about who we work with. We're also only accepting about 3 to 5 people right now. And the types of people we typically work with are business owners, right? So online business owners, obviously, like agencies, coaches, consultants, service providers, experts, etc. But we also work with some types of in-person businesses. So we've been working with realtors, law firms, cosmetic dentists, financial advisors, etc., etc. We also work with YouTubers who are getting a lot of views, but they're struggling to monetize. We typically only work with YouTubers in educational niches though. Or we work with YouTubers who are crushing it, but they want to crush it even more. Or we work with people who want to treat YouTube like a business. So these are usually professionals. We're talking doctors, lawyers, accountants, engineers, people who have skills, they have experience, they have a lot of value to give to the world, and they want to solve other people's problems, but they don't want to spend 3 years figuring it out on their own. If that sounds like you, then go ahead and click that link in the description in the pinned comment below, but only do it if you're very serious about growing and making money on YouTube. Now, if you want to check out an example of someone that we worked with, and we helped them actually fully automate their 8-figure business and their YouTube channel, go ahead and click right here and watch me interview my client, Thomas.